Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make Moe's Tavern from The Simpsons in Minecraft, including the interior, step by step, block for all of your city building needs. Fun fact, I'm hidden somewhere in the intro of this video. If you spot me, leave a comment down below. The first person leaving a comment getting it right will have their comment pinned. This is the amount of space required to make the build, as represented by this very handy grid. And to find the starting position, simply begin at the front left hand corner of your grid, count to the right, find the second block, that is where we start. And here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all of these. Begin the build by placing 7 light grey terracotta in a row on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then place a mangrove plank, a mangrove door, another mangrove plank, and then 7 more light grey terracotta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then extend backwards by 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Then extend across the back of the build, line up with the front of the build, and then join all the way back to where we very first started. Next, let's focus on the front of the build. Begin by placing a light grey terracotta right here. Extend to the right by 1. Place a green stained glass pane to the right, followed by an orange, and then another green. Then place a green glass pane on top of the orange, and orange glass panes on top of the green. Move over onto the opposite side, where we want to do the same thing, but mirrored. Light grey terracotta here, extend left, green stained glass pane, orange, green, and then we place the alternating glass on top of our glass. So, orange on top of green, green on top of orange. Next, we will place an additional 1, 2, 3 mangrove planks on top of our pre-existing mangrove planks, connect them together at the top, and place a light blue stained glass in the empty space. Then, we want to raise up our light grey terracotta walls to equal the height of our mangrove. So here we add 1, 2 rows, and then we can just extend across and fill these gaps in. And we can do the same on the opposite side. So 1, 2 rows, and we can just extend across and fill these gaps in, just like so. Now, on top of this, we can add a layer of mangrove planks. And starting from this right side here, we want to place a light grey terracotta and left of it a mangrove plank. And then a terracotta, plank, and we want to repeat this pattern extending all the way across. Then, for the next row, we want to do the exact same thing, but in reverse. So, plank, terracotta, plank, terracotta. So we're effectively creating a checkered pattern at the top of the build. Then we want to place a layer of mangrove slabs on top of this. Then we will place a bamboo button right of the door. We will place purple concrete above the window line of the door, so 1, 2, 3, and then we extend left and right by 1, just like this, and then we will extend the purple concrete up an additional row, just like so. Next, we are going to move around to the left side of our building, where we will place 1, 2 light grey terracotta here, and all the way over on this side we will place 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we will place alternating green and orange stained glass in between these two rows. And then on top of this, we will place the alternating glass on top of our glass. So once again, green on top of orange and orange on top of green. Then we will add an additional 2 rows of terracotta on the left and right side, and we will simply then just extend across the top of the window that we created and connect everything together. Then we will extend this mangrove plank row along the top of our terracotta, place a row of light grey terracotta on top, and then another row of mangrove planks, and then finally a layer of mangrove slabs. And there is one last thing to add here. We have to add a drain pipe, which is polished tough wall, starting here, moving all the way up to the top, or very near the top, and then mangrove signs around the very top wall. And now that we've done that, it's quite easy to seal up the rest of the build, so we are going to add 1, 2, 3 rows of terracotta on top of the rest of our walls, followed by a row of mangrove planks, row of terracotta, another row of planks, and a row of slab. And that's exactly what we're going to do to these 2 remaining walls. Next, I actually want to remove all of the grass from inside of the build to make way for the new floor. So the floor is comprised of alternating cyan terracotta and polished andesite, and it's just arranged in a checkered pattern. So ultimately it will look like this back row here, just like that. However, I would always recommend placing all of one part of a checkered pattern and then adding the opposing part later, just because it's a little bit easier to fill in, or at least it is from my perspective. That is all of the cyan terracotta, but I do also want to replace underneath the door as well. So that will be a polished andesite, and we'll just pop the door back on there. And now we can just place all of the rest of the polished andesite, and it is going to come together very quickly. Now, something that we can do is also add an additional layer of light grey terracotta against this back wall, as it is necessary for part of the interior build a little bit later on. So I think it's just easiest if we extend every single one of these blocks forwards, minus the very top row of mangrove that we have here, as we can actually install the roof, which is made out of cyan terracotta. The cyan terracotta sits just below the very top of the roof, so underneath the mangrove slabs, and well, that's all there is to it really. Next, believe it or not, there are details to add on the roof. Come all the way over to the back left-hand corner here, move inwards diagonally and place a stone block. Extend the stone block forwards to 1, 2, then place a spruce store, stone on the opposite side, back 2, and then join. Then place stone stairs along this back row, stone in front, then place stone slabs on top, place stone left and right of the door, and then another row of stone slabs on top. Next, count to the right of this block, 1, 2, and then in front of this we want to place a stone stair, however it wants to be positioned this way. We then will extend a row of stone slabs across the back here until we are 2 rows away from the edge, in which case we will then place another stair, stone blocks in front of these stairs, stairs in front of these stone blocks, light grey carpet in between those stairs, glass in between the stone, and then light grey carpet on top of the glass. Just like this. Next, leave a gap of 2 in front of this stone stair, 1, 2, and place 1, 2, 3 cyan terracotta, which we will extend, we have to remove these blocks, towards the edge of the roof, 1, 2 rows, like this, extend the middle up, place hoppers on top, stone stairs in these corners, stone buttons along the sides, and there we go. That's the roof. Next, we are going to remove the remaining part of the grid, which extends along the left side and back of the building. And I'm just going to replace this with stone. And whilst we are here on the back, I'm also just going to chuck a couple of cauldrons with oak trapdoors on top of them. And then along this left side, we of course have to add the stone as well. Now, if you have the room for it, this wasn't included in the grid because it's not necessary exactly, but if you have the room for it, we can add a couple of rows of smooth stone in front of the build, just to tie it together into a sidewalk. So it might very well be that you're, say, copying and pasting this build and just placing it in a position that already has a sidewalk, but if it doesn't have one, then it's good to add one. And once again, if you have the room, we can add an extra row just along the side here, and we can just add a stone path. But it might well be that this is connected to another building, so that may be redundant. So the last detail that we have to add is the sign. So throw down loom, open it up, place a purple banner in there with red dye. We're literally just writing out the word Moe's. So M is first. This is the inverted chevron pattern. Put purple dye in, chief indented pattern. Red dye back in, pale dexter, pale sinister. Next is O, pale dexter, pale sinister, chief, and base. Next is E, this is pale dexter, chief, fess, base. Next is an apostrophe, which is just the chief sinister canton pattern. And lastly, it's S, so chief, base, bend. And with these banners, in this order, above the door, M, O, E, apostrophe, S. With that final detail added, we have officially completed the outside of the tavern, which means it's now time to head inside and work on the interior. The first thing we have to add is some decoration around the top of the walls. Begin by placing a spruce plank in each one of the 4 corners, and then connect all of the planks together with a row of dark oak shelves. Just like this. Then, in the front right corner of the build, we will stack 1, 2, 3 looms on top of each other, extend the bottom one forwards. We will then place a lever here, and then a solid block here, stick a painting here. Preferably, I want the flower, that's the one. And then here, I will apply a pale oak sign, and on top, a mangrove button. And every step of the way, we need something to stand on. So it actually doesn't matter which way the button faces. That's perfect. Next, we will place a mangrove sign right here. And then 2 chains, 1, 2 here. And then 2 light blue terracotta. And then place a painting in front of these. I think that painting is just fine. Then, on this wall, we will stack 1, 2, 3, 4 spruce planks on top of each other. We will place 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chisel bookshelves extending along this wall, and then another row of 4 planks, 1, 2, 3, 4, extending up. Then a row of spruce trapdoors extending across the top. We also want a row of them here, and item frames here, and dark oak shelves in front of the spruce planks, like so. Then we will place a polished granite stair here, with brown and green candles either side. I think that I'll do it like this, so that it's not quite symmetrical. And I'm also just going to add some books to these bookshelves, just kind of semi-randomly. Something like that looks just fine. We also have to make a banner, so I can actually use this loom right here. Light blue banner in there, white dye. Apply a bend pattern and a gradient pattern. Put brown dye in there and apply the ball jaw pattern. And this is a mirror banner, which we are just stacking behind this area. Next, the bar itself is made by leaving, well, we don't have a choice but to leave a gap and place 1, 2 spruce planks here and extend across to the opposite side here and then just extend another block inwards, just like so. Next, we will place a scaffolding here, 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 and here with red carpet on top of the scaffolding. We will then place flower parts, say here and here. A glass block here, iron trapdoor here, item frame here, and then oak shelves here and here. I'm going to stack the oak shelves with pots. Then in the middle here, I'm just going to have a lever here and here with a stone button in between. Next, we have to place a turtle egg in this item frame and a couple of eggs here. We also have to stock these shelves with different potion bottles. I kind of just like to stock the outer rows, and I'm doing it kind of randomly, sort of. I've taken kind of like any brownie sort of bottle and even the dark greens, and I'm just stocking the shelves with those, and I think that looks really good. Next, there is a telephone on this wall, and it lines up with the edge of the bar here, and we remove these 2 blocks in the wall, place light grey concrete here, polished tough wall like this, and then 2 iron bars dangling down to the ground. We also have to make a back door, leave a gap of 1 from the phone, and tunnel out of the build. We have to replace the floor block here with a polished andesite, and then we can just stick a door here. So There we go. I guess we can get in and out of the bar. Next, there is a jukebox near the back door. We leave a gap of 1 and destroy 1, 2, 3 rows in the wall and the rows above. Stick note blocks here and pale oak shelves arranged like this in the wall. We can stack these shelves with different music discs. You can go crazy and place 9 in there if you like, but I've just grabbed 3. Then light grey concrete in front of the jukeboxes or note blocks, and glass block in front of that. Purple slabs on top, and then we can clad the jukebox with, it's either the front of it or maybe the side as well. No, maybe just the front with bamboo signs. Then we will place a 1x1 painting above the jukebox. Not really too fussy which one. Then leave a gap of 1 from the glass here and place an oak shelf on this wall. Destroy this block, place a target, oak shelf on the opposite side, and stick arrows inside of the oak shelf, just like so. Next, we have to make a pool table. So the pool table is aligned with the edge of the jukebox and the granite stair, if that makes sense, or even the scaffolding if it's easier. But we start off with a green wall in this position, here and here, and we extend the wall left and right, and 1 row forwards, just like so. We then clad the wall with dark oak trapdoors, just flipped up. And then on top of the wall, we will place a series of buttons, so bamboo, crimson, and warped. Next, we want to add a cover above the pool table. It's easiest if we start off by placing a row of acacia stairs that leaves... I accidentally broke an egg. Aw. Well, anyway, the acacia stairs leaves a gap of 2 from the pool table and also a gap of 2 from the ceiling. And we want to place these stairs in such a way that it sits above the pool table and joins together in all 4 corners like this. And then we can stick a pale oak sign here and here. And we basically just want to join the corners of these stairs up to the ceiling, just like so. And that will give us this. And not only that, we will place a pool cue in the corner, which is an oak fence and a pale oak fence on top. Then, all the way over by the door, we will place 2 light grey concrete, 1, 2, here. Stack a row on top, mangrove signs in front of the base, stone button here, item frame here, then a white banner in the item frame, which we will flip down, leave a gap of 1, cauldron here, crimson trapdoor on top. Then in this corner, I will stack 1, 2 pale oak, 1, 2 oak fence on top of each other with a pale oak fence on top, and then 2 oak shelves to the right on the wall, just like this. And lastly, actually, we will place this series of blocks extending across this back wall. So spruce plank, mangrove stairs in front, spruce fence, mangrove stair on the opposite side, spruce plank, stair, fence, stair, plank, just like so. And we will extend each one of these blocks 1 row across, so we just want to double up on them. On top of the spruce planks, we will place spruce slabs, and on top of the spruce fence, we will place red carpet. And actually, once you've done that, you have successfully completed this tutorial. However, this video is not over. We must now add Moe's Tavern into our city. For once, ladies and gentlemen, I know exactly where this build is going. We are going to replace the Stream City version of Moe's Tavern, which exists in the downtown portion of Mini-City, with our brand new, upgraded Mini-City version of Moe's Tavern. Much better. You may be interested in becoming a channel member. You can click the join button that will be somewhere on the screen right now. This does cost money and is a monthly subscription, but you do get some perks. The first of which is a download link for my city design world. This has every single build that I have placed in my city, arranged in order and labelled This perk also comes with schematics for the mods Lightmatica and World Edit, so you can easily reference and copy and paste these builds into your worlds in any way that you'd like. However, if you're not interested in any of that building business, the highest tier allows you to download the most current version of Mini-City. There are also some minor perks, including loyalty badges displayed next to your name whenever you comment something down below on my videos. Depending on how long you have been a channel member, you gain a more prestigious helmet, with the highly coveted gold builder's hat being the most valuable. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.